Here is your complete storytelling video script in plain English, written as a narration without headings. Have you ever met someone so invisible that people walked past him every single day without even knowing his name? A man who cleaned floors at night, raised his daughter alone, and carried the weight of the world on his shoulders. But one ordinary janitor would soon discover a mistake worth $100 million, and his honesty would change not only a billionaire's company, but also his own life forever. What happened next shocked an entire city. A single father with a mop and a cleaning cart exposed a problem that highly paid executives had missed. And when a powerful female billionaire learned the truth, she made a decision that nobody saw coming. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome to Kindness Paradise, where every story reminds us that kindness can change lives in the most unexpected ways. David Parker was a 38-year-old janitor in Chicago. Every evening, while office workers hurried home, David pushed his cleaning cart through the quiet halls of one of the largest technology companies in the city. He was a single father raising his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, after losing his wife to illness several years earlier. Life had not been easy for David. During the day, he took care of Lily, helped her with school, and managed their small apartment. At night, he cleaned offices to pay the bills. Many employees barely noticed him. Some walked past him without saying hello. Others left their coffee cups and trash behind, assuming the janitor would handle everything. But David never complained. He always smiled and greeted everyone kindly. He believed that doing good work mattered, even when nobody was watching. The company belonged to Victoria Reynolds, a young billionaire known for building one of the fastest-growing technology businesses in America. She was respected for her intelligence and leadership, but she spent most of her time traveling, meeting investors, and expanding her company. One rainy evening, David was cleaning a conference room after a meeting. Papers and financial reports were scattered across the large table. As he gathered the trash, he noticed several documents lying on the floor. David had once studied accounting in college before family responsibilities forced him to leave school. Looking at the reports, something caught his attention. Several numbers did not match. The company appeared to be investing millions of dollars into a project that had already failed. At first, David thought he must be mistaken. But over the next few nights, he noticed similar reports left behind after executive meetings. The same error appeared again and again. According to the documents, the company was preparing to spend nearly $100 million on a product that could never succeed. David felt nervous. He was only a janitor. Who would listen to him? For several days, he stayed silent. But every night, he thought about the thousands of employees who depended on the company. If the investment failed, many people could lose their jobs. One evening, he carefully wrote down his observations and placed them in an envelope addressed to the executive office. Days passed without a response. Then one morning, David was called into a conference room. Several executives sat around the table. Their faces looked serious. One manager asked, "Did you write this report?" David nodded. The room became quiet. Some executives laughed softly. One of them said, "A janitor thinks he understands our financial strategy." David lowered his eyes. He felt embarrassed, but he calmly explained what he had found. He showed them where the numbers failed to match and why the investment could become a disaster. Most of the executives ignored him. But one person in the room remained silent. Victoria Reynolds had returned unexpectedly from a business trip and decided to attend the meeting. She looked carefully at David's notes. After the meeting ended, she asked him to stay. "Where did you learn this?" she asked. David explained his unfinished accounting studies and the struggles that forced him to leave college. He also told her about raising Lily alone. Victoria spent the next several days reviewing the financial records herself. To her surprise, David was correct. The company was preparing to lose nearly $100 million because of a serious mistake that nobody had noticed. The discovery shocked the entire leadership team. Victoria could not stop thinking about the janitor who had saved her company. One evening, she visited David while he was cleaning the lobby. "Why did you speak up?" she asked. David smiled gently. "Because people's jobs mattered more than my fear." His answer stayed with her. A week later, the company held a meeting with all employees present. Everyone expected another business announcement. Instead, Victoria invited David onto the stage. She told everyone how a single father working nights had protected the company through honesty and courage. Many employees who had ignored David suddenly realized they had never truly seen him. Victoria then surprised everyone. She announced a full scholarship for David to complete his education. She offered him a position in the company's financial department after graduation. She also created a college fund for Lily. David stood silently, unable to speak. Tears filled his eyes as he looked at his daughter sitting in the audience. But Victoria was not finished. She introduced a new company program that encouraged employees to respect every worker, from executives to custodians. She reminded everyone that wisdom and talent can be found anywhere. Months later, David began attending evening classes. Lily proudly helped him study at the kitchen table. Victoria often visited their family, becoming not just a business leader but a true friend. David never forgot the kindness she showed him. And Victoria never forgot the lesson he taught her, the value of listening to people who are often overlooked. Years later, David graduated with honors and became a financial analyst for the company he once cleaned at night. Whenever new employees joined the company, he shared his story. He would tell them that kindness begins when we notice the people around us. The janitor, the cashier, the cleaner, the delivery driver. Every person has a story, a dream, and a purpose. Sometimes the person everyone ignores may be the one who saves the day. And sometimes a simple act of respect can completely change a life. If this story teaches us anything, it is that kindness costs nothing but can return more than we ever imagine. Never judge someone by their job title, their clothes, or their position in life. Every person deserves dignity, respect, and a chance to be heard. Because one kind decision, one listening ear, or one moment of compassion can change a future forever. And perhaps the greatest gift we can give another person is simply to see them, believe in them, and remind them that they matter. Here is a completely different version of the story with a new plot, new characters, and a more emotional narration style. The old janitor stood alone in the empty office building, holding a small flashlight in one hand and a broken family photo in the other. Upstairs, executives were celebrating another successful quarter worth millions of dollars. Downstairs, a single father wondered how he would pay his daughter's medical bills. Nobody knew that before sunrise, this quiet man would uncover a mistake worth $100 million. Nobody knew that his honesty would save a billionaire's company. And nobody could imagine that one act of kindness would completely change two lives forever. Before this story begins, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Welcome to Kindness Paradise, where every story reminds us that kindness can appear when we need it the most. Michael Turner lived in Boston with his 12-year-old daughter, Emma. Since losing his wife in a car accident 5 years earlier, he had raised Emma alone. He worked nights as a janitor inside Reynolds Global Investments, one of the largest financial companies in the city. Every evening, Michael prepared dinner, helped Emma with homework, and tucked her into bed before taking the subway to work. He cleaned offices, emptied trash cans, and polished floors while the city slept. Most employees never noticed him. Some left coffee cups on their desks. Others ignored his greetings completely. But Michael always remained kind. His wife had once told him, "Kindness is something nobody can steal from you." He carried those words in his heart every day. One winter night, a heavy snowstorm covered Boston. Most employees had gone home early, but several executives stayed late for an important meeting. Michael waited outside the conference room with his cleaning supplies. After midnight, the executives left in a hurry. Papers covered the long table. As Michael cleaned the room, he noticed several financial reports lying on the floor. Years earlier, before his wife became sick, Michael had worked as a junior accountant. He had left his career to care for his family. Something in the reports seemed wrong. The company was preparing to buy another technology firm for $100 million. But the numbers did not match. The documents showed huge hidden losses. Michael looked carefully. The company they planned to purchase was nearly bankrupt. He could hardly believe it. For several nights, he reviewed the documents that had been left behind. Every number confirmed the same thing. If the deal continued, thousands of employees could lose their jobs. But Michael was only a janitor. Who would believe him? The company's owner, billionaire Olivia Reynolds, was known across America for her intelligence and business success. She had built her company from nothing after losing her own father at a young age. Although she was respected, many people considered her distant and difficult to approach. Michael wrote down his concerns and left an envelope for senior management. Days passed. Nothing happened. Then one morning, Security guards asked Michael to come to the executive floor. Several managers sat around a large table. One executive spoke coldly. "Did you write this report?" Michael quietly answered yes. Another manager laughed. "A janitor thinks he understands finance." Michael felt embarrassed, but he explained everything carefully. He pointed to the missing numbers, the hidden debt, and the risks involved. Most of the executives ignored him. But Olivia Reynolds remained silent. She studied every page. Finally, she said, "Leave the papers with me." 3 days later, outside experts reviewed the investment. Michael was right. The company had nearly made a $100 million mistake. News spread quickly throughout the building. Employees could not believe that the janitor had discovered what highly paid executives had missed. One evening, Olivia found Michael cleaning the lobby. She asked him to sit beside her. For the first time in years, someone wanted to hear his story. Michael told her about his wife, his daughter, and the dreams he had given up. He explained that he once wanted to become an accountant but chose family instead. Olivia listened quietly. Then she asked, "Why didn't you stay silent? Nobody would have blamed you." Michael smiled. "Because kindness means protecting people, even when they never notice you." Those words stayed with Olivia. A week later, the company gathered every employee inside the auditorium. Everyone expected another business presentation. Instead, Olivia walked onto the stage beside Michael. She shared his story. Many employees lowered their heads with shame because they had ignored him for years. Then Olivia made an announcement. She awarded Michael a large financial bonus for saving the company. She paid for Emma's medical treatment, which Michael had struggled to afford. She also offered him a position in the company's financial department. Tears filled Michael's eyes. Emma ran onto the stage and hugged her father. The entire audience stood and applauded. But the greatest gift came later. Olivia started spending time with Michael and Emma. She learned that success and wealth had left her lonely. Michael taught her that people mattered more than profits. Emma often invited Olivia to dinner. For the first time in years, Olivia felt like part of a family. Months later, Michael returned to college to complete his accounting degree. During the day, he attended classes. At night, he worked part-time while studying. Olivia personally encouraged him. When Michael finally graduated, Emma sat proudly in the front row. His old janitor uniform remained hanging in his closet. He kept it to remind himself where he came from. Several years later, Michael became one of the company's financial directors. Yet he still greeted every janitor, cleaner, and security guard by name. Whenever new employees joined the company, he shared his story. He told them that titles do not measure a person's value. Sometimes the quietest person in the room carries the greatest wisdom. Sometimes the person cleaning the floor can save an entire company. And sometimes kindness opens doors that money never can. Olivia also changed. She created programs to support workers and their families. She made sure every employee felt respected, no matter their position. The billionaire learned kindness from a janitor. And the janitor discovered that his dreams were not gone. If this story teaches us anything, it is that kindness can travel in both directions. A poor man can change a billionaire's heart. A successful woman can help rebuild a struggling father's future. Never underestimate the power of honesty. Never ignore the people who quietly serve others every day. Because one act of courage, one kind decision, or one listening heart can change an entire life. And somewhere, perhaps today, someone around you may simply need to be seen, respected, and believed. Choose kindness, because you never know whose life you might change, or who might change yours.